So, napakaraming mga traders na nagulat sa naging drop ni gold kahapon. Most especially right now na there's still an ongoing war between US, Iran, and Israel. So, kahit ako nagulat. So, siguro we should really accept the fact that the market does not move because of the news alone. It moves because of the positioning, yung liquidity, and of course, the profit taking. So, ano ba mga possible reasons bakit nag-drop bigla si gold kahapon? Even during geopolitical tension. Number one, ito yung nakikita ko Actually, parang medyo deja vu na to sa gold kasi parang nangyari na to noong October last year. During that time, nagkaroon din ng double top. Tinap niya rin yung resistance, yung all-time high before, and then nag-drop siya tuloy-tuloy pabagsak. So parang deja vu lang siya. One thing na tingin ko reasons dyan, I don't know if you have heard this, ang market, they buy the news and sell the rumors. During the time na nagkakaroon na ng war tension at nagsabi si Trump na something bad will happen, si gold actually, nag-start na siya mag-rally paakyat. So during the time when the news has already priced in, yung mga large institutions, dun sila nag-take profit na. During the time na na-hit niya yung resistance. However, in my case kasi, yung resistance ko was the all-time high. Yung previous all-time high. However, I think magkaiba kami tinitingnan na resistance area kasi yung naging resistance area nila is hindi kasama yung wick dun sa 4-hour time frame. Yung body lang dun sa 4-hour time frame. That's why, okay, iba yung resistance nila. During the time na na-reach nga yung resistance na yun, nag-drop na siya immediately. Pero nagpakita muna siya ng mga signs like sa 4-hour time frame, nagpakita siya doon ng spinning top na candlestick. So, yung mga large institutions yan, nag-take profit sila doon. That's why nagkaroon ng massive sell-off at drop sa gold. Second reason na tingin ko is liquidity hunting. Most especially kasi yung mga retail traders. Kapag yung market, inakit pa nila ng inakit yung presyo, nakaka-attract siya ng mas maraming buyers bago siya mag-reverse. So, isipin nyo na lang, say for example, merong tindahan ng ice cream dyan, tas sobrang haba ng pila. Tas parang ikaw mga curious ka na, ba't ang haba ng pila dyan? Pipila nga rin ako, gusto ko rin bumili niyan. So, bili tayo ng bili. Nabibili natin siya sa mahal na presyo during that time kasi may demand, ang lakas, haba ng pila. So, nabili natin siya, say for example, ng 100 pesos. Nung nabili natin siya ng 100 pesos, after some time, nag-decision yung seller na, bababa ko lang ng 50 pesos, kaso nabili mo na siya ng 100 pesos. So parang feeling mo, ano ba yan? Na-scam ako, ganyan. So that's how liquidity hunting works. Kapag marami ng mga buyers dun sa top, the market will drop it, and then kukolektahin nila yung mga stop losses natin dun. Ganon. So you would feel na parang, I felt so betrayed. Kaya ito talaga sa trading, kailangan yung emotional resilience mo. Sobrang taas kasi nga talagang iinisin ka ng market, bubisitin ka kasi parang naiisip niya kung ano yung nasa isip mo. Alam niya kung nasa yung stop loss mo. Alam niya na magbabay ka doon. Alam niya na pipilahan mo yun. Alam niya na kung ano yung nasa isip natin. Another reason is, kung mapapansin niyo si gold, grabe siya nag-rally nitong mga nakaraan. As in talagang paakyat siya ng paakyat. So yung aggressive upward movement na yun ni gold, itong mga nakaraang linggo, kahit na bullish market, yes, alam natin uptrend pa rin yan, yung price should be correcting or rebalancing bago siya magtuloy-tuloy paakyat. So, kumbaga, kailangan nagko-correct muna siya. So, kumbaga, nagpapahinga siya. Aakyat siya, pero magpapahinga rin siya. So, yun, overextended rally siya. And that's one of the reasons bakit ngayon nakaka-experience tayo ng pullback. Pero kasi si gold, pag nag-pullback, hindi siya yung parang dahan-dahan. Yung pullback niya, as in bagsak talaga. As in, walang babala. Pag ibabagsak ko to. So, mapapansin nyo itong mga nakaraan, every time nagpo-pullback si gold, ganun lagi. Pang-apat na reason dyan is institutional positioning. Merong mga premium zones, premium areas na kung saan pumapasok yung mga institutions. So, yung mga funds ito, as in malalaki tong funds ito, like billions of dollars, na kaya talagang pagalawin yung market. So, itong mga large funds ito, itong mga large institutions na to, they don't trade based on emotion, they don't trade based on headlines. They normally trade based on liquidity and positioning. So, finally, kapag na-reach yung area, yung premium zone na yun, wherein yung inaantay nila na zone na yun, dun pa lang sila papasok or mag-distribute. And lastly, one of the reasons din, yung war, sometimes yung impact niyan hindi immediate Yung nakita nyo namang gap up nung Monday, if you will just check yung daily time frame, it was actually a bearish candlestick, not a bullish candlestick. There was a gap up, but yung pinrint niya during that time sa daily time frame was actually bearish candlestick. So, yes, yung mga geopolitical tension na ganito, nakakapag-create siya ng volatility. But nakita ko, and based on my observation, na yung market really follows technical structure and yung liquidity cycles. So just to simplify, si gold, hindi siya nag-drop because nawala yung war. Nag-drop siya possibly because yung mga smart money, mga big institutions, yung mga big funds, namili na sila nung time na nag-start pa lang yung tension, yung war tension. And right now, they have started taking profit. Like kahapon, nag-take profit na sila. So, lesson here is that you really have to apply, yes, fundamentals, but we don't have to chase the news. You have to trade the structure talaga. That is one thing that is very important. Ito, habol ko rin pala. Another reason na tingin ko nag-drop din siya was because yung market, they think na yung mga possible na rate cuts, madadelay pa lalo or mapopause pa siya or possible mabawasan pa. Dahil dito sa war, mayroon siyang inflation risk. So as you all know, kapag yung inflation is tumataas, most likely si Fed hindi niya ibababa yung interest rate. Kasi kapag binaba yung interest rate, there's a risk na possible mas umakyat pa yung inflation. That's why they're very careful in cutting rates. So ngayon, since ngayon mayroong ngang war, so yung possible na inflation risk ay umakyat pa, nawawalan ng pag-asa yung mga market na mag-cut ng rate. So nagkaroon ng temporary upward movement kay USD because mas naging strong siya. So yun din, isa sa tingin ko na nag-cause ng drop ni gold. So ayun. So for our topic this week na we are talking about the trading psychology playlist and we are on our third episode. Today I just wanted to share how you will be able to handle consecutive losses sa pag-trade mo. Kasi halos lahat naman ng mga traders, actually hindi halos, lahat, naka-experience na ng ganito at some point. Sunod-sunod talo, 3 losses, 5 losses, sometimes even 10 losses. Pero at the moment, it can feel like something is wrong. Something is wrong with the market, with the strategy, with the broker, or worse, with yourself. But consecutive losses are not always a sign that you're actually failing as a trader. Kasi in many cases, it is actually part of the nature in trading. Number one, you have to understand yung losses, they come in clusters. Meaning, ang trading kasi they operate based on probability, not certainty. So say for example, you have a strategy na merong 60% na win rate. Pero still, it can produce several losses in a row. For example, 10 trades. Sa 10 trades kasi possible makapag-produce ng win, and then loss, and then loss again, and then loss again, and then win, and then loss, and then win, and then loss, and then win. So possible na ganon. So kapag ganito, this means naka-experience ka ng 3 to 4 consecutive losses, even though your system is profitable. So yung mga professional traders, they understand this concept. And ako, naniniwala ako, pangalawa, dito sa pag-trade is, ang pinaka-risk talaga dito is your emotional reaction. The emotional danger kapag tuloy-tuloy na yung mga talo mo is hindi actually yung losses themselves, but yung emotional response mo after several losses. Kasi possible ikaw, mag-increase ka ng lot size para ma-recover yung losses mo, mag-take ka ng mga trades outside strategy, mag-enter ka ng mga entries without confirmation. Tapos sometimes, natanggal mo yung stop loss mo, so nag-overtrade ka pa. So, we really tend to revenge trade. And ironically speaking, karamihan ng sunog story nanggagaling sa mga first few losses. Kasi yung sunog natin nanggagaling siya sa mga emotional decisions from our first few losses. So it's better na mag-pause ka na muna. So ngayon, kunwari, nagkaroon ka ng mga losses ngayon, nasunugan ka, mag-pause ka muna. So instead of trading more, mag-slow down ka. And then be patient, mag-antay ka ng mga quality confirmations. And most importantly, journal mo. Kasi ngayon, ang pinaka-priority mo is to protect your capital. Survival comes first, profit comes later. Ito, pinakatandaan mo. Lahat kayang mag-trade kapag nananalo. Pero alam mo, ang totoong trader, yung merong skill at ability to remain disciplined when things are not going well. So yun lang guys. That's it for today. Or I feel like I wanted to rest today kasi I'm not feeling well. Mahirap magbuntis.